It's working right now. Yo, let me bring Coop back. Let me message him. Coop. Coop, come live. Yo, I'm gonna bring my brother in here, Coop, and he's my brother for real. Uh, Go grab some people, tell them to come and watch this live because he's dropping bare knowledge about water fasting. Um, Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's good?
Uh, I, I can hear him. Why is it telling me that I'm going live? Where's Coop? Yo, Cooper. Where am there? Maybe his phone dead in it. Hang on, let me try calling. Yeah, my live is back. It's working now. Yeah. Shout out to Che. Shout out to Helen. Shout out to Issa. Shout. Wagwan.
Wagwan.
Yeah, man. There. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, man. I'm very well. Sadita,
Where are
hi.
you?
Yo, come back to my live. Come to my live, innit? Yeah. Um,
Where are you?
right now I'm there, Thailand.
Oh, wow, beautiful. I've been to Indonesia.
I've never been to Indonesia. I want to go. I've been to Malaysia a month ago, but I've never been to Indonesia. What was it like?
Oh my, beautiful. Like, beautiful. I'll move there. It was amazing. The people are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the
How's
food
your,
like?
hmm? The food?
What was the food?
To be honest, the food, we had bad experience. Well, the people I was with and me, we had a bad experience. We were hungry.
You're hungry. What was it to eat?
We were hungry for like a while. Like we barely ate over there because we were just moving around too much, you know. So,
Mm-hmm. Um, Sorry. What was you gonna ask me before I asked you something?
oh, how's your fast going? Your 36-hour fast.
Amazing. I nearly done it now because it's Tuesday, 7:44 a.m. here.
Okay,
So
so this is what I heard. I heard
what
that
did
are you fasting to a what? Like just lose weight or a cleanse?
cleanse? Lose weight, bruh.
People. Okay, so my friend, she did the fast and she was trying to lose weight and she gained like all the weight back like the day after
I mean, how long did she do the fast for?
for 24 hours. She did a
That's not
water fast.
that's not a fast. You have to do 36 hours minimum.
Minimum? I never
Minimum.
really.
Yeah, do you
Oh,
know
she did
what?
it. No, no, I'm lying. She did it for 3 days.
There's four people in here. I'm gonna bring on the water fasting expert and ask some questions, and he's gonna answer them because he's teaching me about fasting.
Okay,
I'm
that's
gonna
amazing.
pretend to answer that from scratch because I don't know it, but I'll bring him in and he's gonna answer that question. Okay?
Okay, and then you're gonna bring me back.
Uh,
She loves you, man.
I
if
love you. You're gonna bring
you
me
wanna
back.
come back.
Okay, bye.
Mahad Sanit.
Huh?
Mahad Sanit.
Oh,
Where's Coop? There he is. Bring him back. Yo, so why did you do a fast for 24 hours and gain all the weight back?
What was that?
This tell me said that a brethren did a water fast for 24 hours. No, 3 days, and then after the 3 days, she gained all the weight back straight away.
It depends on what she was eating.
True. Aris, when I asked him about that, he said that it's because after you fast, you have the capacity to your cells can absorb a lot more afterwards. So if you then go back to eating the way you was eating before, you actually put on more weight than before. So you just need to not retox again, not go back to eating trash.
I think that's the whole point of, so that when I do my fasting groups, most people are looking to make a change in their life, make a change in their lifestyle. So when they jump onto a water fast with me, when they enter into the fast with me, we're doing it correctly. We're taking our time, reducing the meal, how many meals we're having in a day. We're increasing the amount of fluids that we're taking in on a daily basis. So a lot of people drink about 1.5 liters to 2 liters a day, which puts their body at a deficit. So then most people are walking around dehydrated. And hydration plays a key role in health. So when most people are sick, you look at the first question you ask them is how much water do you consume in a day, and then I put them. Then they move from whatever diet that they've currently been on into a whole food plant-based diet, so that when they break fast, they already know what to expect and what type of foods they're going to be putting into their body once they've broken fast. It's not going to be a shock to their system. Therefore, the weight that they gain back is most likely going to be some water weight, because certain foods causes your body to hold on to water weight. So for every gram of carbs, your body holds on to 4 grams of water. So when you start eating,
To process the carbs.
yeah, so basically the process in which you'll go back into eating would be typically, let's say a 5-day water fast. You'll do a whole day of juicing. The following day, you'll be on liquids throughout the whole morning, and then in the afternoon, you'll probably have your first smoothie, and you might have like a whole fruit meal as your dinner. And then the following day, you'll do liquids all the way through the morning. In the afternoon, you can have, whether you have your juices, you can have a smoothie, or you can have a whole fruit meal as your breakfast. And then start slowly introducing greens back into your diet. So you can steam it at first to make it more easier on the digestive system. And then the 4th or 5th day, the 5th day is when I would suggest bringing back like cooked soups, like your pumpkins, your squash soups. And then day 5, so on and so forth, you start introducing nuts, drier foods, rather than just foods that have a high concentration of water, because that's essentially what you're looking to do. When you refeed, you want to stick to foods that have a high concentration of water. Most people will jump straight back into dehydrated foods that are dry, foods that cause your body to either pull moisture from you or cause you to store more water weight rapidly, and quickly see the weight come back on.
How would somebody get one of your water fasts? Sounds like something you should create, like, I don't know, a way to just get everybody involved. Imagine you had a water fast group, but it was just like how you have it on Instagram, like an Instagram group, and you just have like 100 people. Do you do a WhatsApp? How do you do it?
I actually do it on WhatsApp. The reason why I started doing it, I took it off IG, is because Instagram was actually blocking me from going into my own group. So I couldn't
Wow.
even give anybody any advice. I couldn't answer anybody's questions when they were struggling, because every symptom that somebody's going through, there's a reason why they're going through it. And sometimes it might not be something I can answer, but I have a roundabout answer for it. For instance, a lot of people are dealing with emotional trauma. And when a person, our cells hold on to trauma, and it holds on to memory. So every time a cell dies, it always passes on the information onto a new cell, which that information is going to obtain that trauma from that cell or the memory from the previous cell. So you can't really escape it. because you haven't thought about it in a long time, it doesn't mean it's not there. So some people would remember something that that's never crossed their mind since they was the age of 5 years old, and they're in their 40s.
I was having bare, but not flashbacks like traumatic, just like that didn't have, or I didn't think that I had.
Yeah, yeah. It just
Like,
resurfaces.
yeah,
And
but
some of them.
20 years ago, I was just like, I was there, and I was like, why is that happening?
Some people break out into tears, men and women, burst out into tears and uncontrollably, and they just can't stop themselves from crying. And I'm like, yeah,
I cried.
how would it happen?
I cried, but like happiness. And it was
Yeah.
on the scooter. I was going to get water, and then I was so happy, and tears just like coming my eyes. I was like, I'm happy to go get water. Nah, but I'm happy though. It's not for the.
And then you have physical trauma. So you would have a lot of sports people that play that's quite active. They would injure themselves, and before they fully healed, they would continue doing whatever activity it was that they injured themselves from doing in the first place. And that pain will come back and resurface. It would resurface in their lower back, their knee, their ankle, their hips, and it would hit them hard. And it would stay there for probably about 2 days. 3 days. 3 days has been the longest I've heard the pain hang around for. But once it's brought to the surface and then released itself from this trauma, physical trauma, you have full mobility in that area again. And you feel like you have a whole new leg, or you feel like your ankle's working 3 times better than it was prior to that. It's because you've just got used to it working at 70%.
Okay. Okay, so what about water fasting in a cold environment?
It's difficult. It can be done. It's difficult. I mean, I've water fasted in the winter. The problem is, even when you're in a hot country, you can still feel, there'll still be times of the day where you feel quite cold. Because your body temperature drops. Your body temperature drops to preserve energy. Your blood pressure drops to preserve energy. That's why if anybody's suffering from high blood pressure, hypertension, water fasting will reduce their blood pressure to a normal rate or even lower, so that when they come off their water fast, they wouldn't have it anymore. They wouldn't need medication for it anymore. But the moment they introduce the high meat, the high salt, the stress from their loved ones back into their lives, their blood pressure will go back up. But you can manage it. You will be able to manage it way better if you ate better. The thing is, when we consume animal flesh, we take on the stress of that animal before it was slaughtered. So we don't even realize this underlying stress that we carry, this energy that we carry with us. So when you eliminate those animal fleshes or animal products from your gut, and you refine your temple, you cleanse your temple, and you bring it back from a pet cemetery into the Garden of Eden, you'll find that you're able to handle stress, you're able to handle anger, fear, and anxiety way easier.
Really? But like, God put animals on earth for everybody to eat, no? So, like, what do you mean you're taking on their stress? How is that possible? I don't understand.
It's because what people are doing, they're consuming animals that's been factory farmed, never seen daylight. They are under stress. They've had their cars removed from their lives, that's been pulled from their nipple. They are dealing with animals that can smell other animals' blood in the air. They can hear the screams that other animals are going through just before they've been slaughtered. So now you've got animals in fear. You have animals that are angry. You have animals that are anxious and suffering from anxiety. You have animals under a heavy deal of stress. When we talk about how animals were eaten centuries ago, our ancestors would probably eat was more on a religious cycle, in the sense that it was about sacrifice, which was never done on a daily basis in comparison to how we overconsume animals on a daily basis now. This whole animals has been put on this earth to feed us is the reason. Do you know what I call it? I call it karma. All these diseases that people are having right now, that's karma. That's your karma.
Okay. I mean, it sounds extreme though, like animals giving us problems, but I can accept that. I can accept it.
Here's
I
the
can
thing.
the way you explain.
I'll show you how deep it is. 16% of people that have an organ transplant commit suicide. 16 to 30% of people that have an organ transplant commit suicide. The reason why they commit suicide is because, like I said, about cells and tissues obtaining memory and trauma. Well, the people that they got those organs from committed suicide when they removed their organs and put them into somebody else that needed it. These are the same people that fell into depression and wanted to kill themselves. And if they did kill themselves, unlucky. But some of them didn't. Some people don't, but then they're on antidepressants. And this is the reason, this is the same energy that I'm talking about that people are taking on when they consume animal flesh. So some people don't fall into depression, but other people pick up bad habits that they've never had before. Some people were very active before they had an accident. They could have been cyclists, had a bike accident from getting hit by a car. But then when they've had an organ transplant or blood transfusion, they've picked up the habit of drinking or smoking, which is something that they never considered doing before.
Mad. So the intracellular memory is still there, even if it's somebody else's DNA inside of you. It's still able to transmit to your cells. So all your organs are talking to each other, and all of your cells are talking to each other.
They're all in communication with each other. They all have a job to do. And when they're not able to pass information and energy to each other, they're diseased.
So what if so what you're saying, you can really like be healthy all the time, kind of cure everything fasting and what you're eating? Because I thought that doctors were supposed to help you do that.
I think doctors are really good at helping you repair broken bones. If you need to have an operation for some particular reason, then that's definitely why a person should go to the hospital. A hospital setting in itself is unhealthy. It's sick care, it's not health care. Hence the reason why they don't provide you with healthy food in a hospital.
Okay.
That just says it alone. Doctors study medicine, they don't study nutrition. So if you want to go toe to toe with a doctor about medicine and what it does, then you can do that. But the moment you bring up nutrition, silence in the room. It will be a one-way conversation. The thing is, when it comes to nutrition and medicine, nutrition can get to the root cause, where medicine only the main purpose is to suppress
Treat the symptoms.
the symptoms in which you're feeling.
Hi, baby.
Hi.
Hi. I miss you.
Miss you.
Love you.
Why do?
I'm speaking to Daddy. Yeah, amazing. Okay. So when the babies, can babies fast?
I would say there's a good time for a child to decide, to a parent to decide whether they want their children to fast. And I would say probably after the age from 12 onwards, I think is a safe age. I don't think it's unsafe, but I just feel like the way that this system is set up, one can lose their child for neglect because fasting is still a taboo. And we know children